Did he do any drugs while you guys were talking?
He doesn't. He's not like this crazy drug addict like people think he is. He just like takes hella Xanax because he's like a hella anxious dude. He's like really high strung. I mean, like he'll take a dab, he'll smoke weed, he'll eat some edibles, he'll take like, you know, a couple milligrams of Xanax, but it's not like people think he's just like ripping lines and like smoking meth. Like he's way too anxious of a person. Like it was cool. We talked for like 7 to 10 days. She came back in, she got pissed, and now it's just funny that she's pissed and I keep pissing her off just because it's hilarious. It was just kind of like, he was like a heartbroken guy that was just kind of like talking about all the like about her. And it was like that for like a couple weeks or like maybe like under 2 weeks. We just talked on FaceTime every day and then like...
Hey guys, this is Ao from Callus and we have a mystery woman named Zora, which means fox in Spanish, apparently, allegedly. So Zora, what's going on here? Why are you reaching out to us? What's your story?
Your video came up randomly on my TV or like my YouTube television or whatever, and it was just like kind of like a joke. My friends and I will like send each other like these funny Aaron Carter YouTube videos, and I saw yours while I was like doing the dishes, and I was like, whoa. First of all, why do these people care? Second of all, this is hilarious. And third of all, they've got it like all wrong, like low key, like all wrong.
Okay.
So
what parts are wrong before we preface so people know what you're talking about?
I don't think you got, I mean, like, of course, like, I mean, it is what it is, like his highs and like his lows and like whatever, but it's definitely not like he's like this sociopathic like puppet master that's like, you know, making Melanie do these things, and she's like this sweet submissive girl that's just like under his spell.
Did you see the submissive video I put out where it says Melanie submissive? Okay, well that's just titling to be fair, but I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
She knows what she's doing.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, like, I work at a bar, and somebody that I work with, like, I don't know, a couple of months ago was like, yo, I found this girl on the internet that looks like you. And I was like, oh, that's a cute girl. Like, my whole Instagram is all just, like, models and, like, bikini girls and whatever. And I was like, that's a cute girl. I'm going to add her, follow her. And I was like, oh, weird. She's dating Aaron Carter. And I'm like, why does he look like that? And I started following her, and then this strange account started following me. And it was like after I had like posted her to my story, I was like, look at this cute girl, like look at what Aaron Carter looks like now, like that's hilarious, like who remembers him? Because I don't really, it's like not my music. Like I don't think about, you know what I'm saying, I don't think about Britney Spears, I don't think about the Backstreet Boys, I'm sure as hell not thinking about Aaron Carter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this weird ass account starts following me and is like saying that they're Aaron Carter. And I was like, not so much. So I messaged his official account because I find it and I'm like, yo, somebody on the internet is pretending to be you and like catfishing people and like asking for money. It's like super creepy.
In some of the screenshots you sent, because like it looked like it was an Aaron account, but it wasn't like his official account.
No, the Aaron account, that was his official account. It's the Melanie account that wasn't her official account.
Okay.
Yeah. No, that's his official account.
Right.
But so it was a different account that got deleted. Instagram deleted it. And it was just weird. I told him, I said, hey, listen, someone's pretending to be you on the internet. Like, it's super creepy. And I got blocked. I'd never like talked to this person before in my life. And I was like, that is really weird. Either like a jealous girl did that, or maybe it's really him and he's like scamming people out of money. Like, I have no idea. This is super creepy. But my friends and I kept like messaging the fake account, like trolling it. It just, I mean, we're stuck in a house. This is like the first couple of weeks that everyone's stuck in the house. We're fucking bored. And it became like a joke between me and like all my service industry friends. Like, haha, Aaron Carter. It's like some fucking 90s nostalgia shit. And I sent him a message on Snap, like, I don't know, months ago that was like, hey, somebody's pretending to be you and it's fucking creepy. And I sent him like a little picture of myself so that he knew I was like a real person. I wasn't just like a spam. Because sometimes people will like send you links on Instagram that seem like spam and you'll just like block them right away. So I thought maybe that's what it was. And I hadn't given it much thought. And then I get a snap and it says it's from Aaron Carter. And I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I thought like we laid this to rest when we reported this fake Instagram account, my friends and I, and it got deleted. And he's like, hey, just broke up with my girlfriend. I don't mean any disrespect, but I'd love to undress you. And I was just like, okay, bro. So, I mean, we kind of like went back and forth, like sending each other like selfies. He's like, yeah, I'm single now. I broke up with my girlfriend today. It was nuts. Like, I went into her phone and she was throwing shit all around the house. Well, you know, whatever, woo woo. And then he's like, you should FaceTime me. And I'm like, okay, at least then I can get down to the bottom of this and like know if like I'm really just continuing to troll this person or if like this is a real person and he's actually like, you know, whatever, like an interesting, worthwhile person to talk to. So then he sends me his email and we start FaceTiming. So this is like, I don't know, literally like the day that she was arrested. And he was funny and like nice and like sweet. And like told me like all this crazy shit that they like got in this fight and she'd like thrown things around the house and he showed me like her makeup room. It was all like shit was thrown everywhere. There were like each other's shoes like all around the pool and shit. He was with his manager and his manager was like super chill and nice. And I don't know, we just talked about like normal people shit, like music and like his crazy situation, like what do I do? Where do I live? Like I live and work in and
Yeah.
Shit like that. And he was like, oh, you're really cute. You look like my girlfriend though, or my ex-girlfriend. And he's like, it's a little creepy, but whatever. And just started to like talk to me about like her dynamic. Like she's just like real insecure, like would never want him to see her without makeup, just like normal guy. It was just kind of like, he was like a heartbroken guy that was just kind of like talking about all this shit, like about her. And it was like that for like a couple weeks or like maybe like under 2 weeks. We just talked on FaceTime every day. And then like, he wanted me to come back out to California because I have family. And I was planning on moving back out there anyways. And then I think it was like April 1st, he sends me this text that's like, hey, just so you know, Melanie is here and she doesn't want to leave. And she's saying that she's pregnant and she's just not leaving. And I don't want to like call the police and like make it a thing because people are going to be like outside my door and like writing shit about it. So like, I'm going to let her stay the night. And then after she stayed the night, he called me the next day and was like, yeah, like she just refused to leave. And like, she's just trying to get back together with me and whatever. And then after that, like, he just kind of like went dark. And then she started messaging me. She's like, I'm not going anywhere, bitch. I'm having a baby. You're pathetic. You work at a bar.
What? Okay.
You're a stripper. You're a loser.
When Melanie was just doing that, like not like less than 2 months ago, like she's slamming people for being a stripper when she's working at bars too. Like she was just doing that. Like
when I told her, I was like, listen, I am an athlete. I do the splits. Okay, like I work out every day. Like this is my lifestyle. Like I go to work, don't drink, don't do drugs, do my like acrobatic ass shit, come home, go to sleep at night alone. Like I'm a good girl. You're working at a bikini bar, getting pimped out by this dude, and you're a prostitute, and you're trying to like come at me for being a stripper. And she's like, you're just a hoe. Like, you're sloppy seconds. He's not going anywhere. Like, fuck you, bitch. Like, all this crazy shit. And then all of a sudden, I noticed that, like, he blocked me on Instagram, which was weird because I had talked to him, like, the day before. And he was like, listen, I know it's, like, really sketch because we're in the middle of a pandemic. But, like, if you were out here, things would be easier. He's like, you could stand your ground and like get her. I feel like he's kind of like a codependent person, and he just like wanted me to come out to him even though we're in the middle of a pandemic and kind of just be like, look, bitch, I'm like the better you, because I'm kinder, like I'm more intelligent, a lot more intelligent. And just the things that he would say about her is just that like she's not a nice person, and she's just like really demanding and like really spoiled and lazy and all this shit. Like I'm just kind of like the antithesis of that. And he just kept saying like to just come out there and things would be different. He wanted me to come out there. He thought about like driving out to Chicago. I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's not very logical. But then it was like he just kind of disappeared. He fell off the face of the earth on social media, blocked me on Instagram, blocked me on Snapchat, and then she started messaging me on his cell phone. And I messaged him today, like, hey, isn't it crazy that just like
So you guys had each other's number. You get like,
yeah.
Okay, so this is like for real. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you guys, the whole time you guys were talking was when they were still together, or was this like what time period was this?
Literally starting like the day that they broke up until like April 2nd or 3rd.
Wow. Okay.
So like that's like less than 2 weeks.
So this is moving really fast. This is a lot of information to be going through in like 2 or 3 days, right? So that's what were you thinking? Were you like, what the hell am I getting myself into? Were you just like toying with the idea, having fun with it, or like what did you really expect?
I think I was just like having fun with it because I was stuck in my house, and I was like, okay, this is a really like. And he didn't seem like that crazy. Like, of course, he's like a passionate like dude that seems real intense because he's kind of like, I mean, you know how he is.
Yeah.
But I was just kind of like, I mean, we're both stuck in our houses. Like, he's kind of like on the rebound. Like, I'm just going to kind of like play around with this. But he's really intelligent and like actually like really talented. Like, he would be on FaceTime in the morning, like call me in the morning. He would be like, okay, we're going to play a song. Like, I'm going to play the song on the piano and you're going to tell me what it is. Or like showing me what he's working on with music, or telling me about like his family and like growing up in his childhood. Like when we would talk on FaceTime or on the phone, it would be for like literally hours. And then I was like, wait. So this started out as a joke. My friends and I were just like talking about this, like it started out as a joke. Then I started talking to him for real. And then he actually was a pretty nice guy and like real talented and funny. He was super funny. And then I was kind of like talking to him for real. And then she kind of just like came back in, and then it's just like all this stupid ass drama.
Right. And I've heard from a couple of other girls who were like, you know, kind of close to, because he followed a bunch of people right after they broke up, and they all got blocked. Like every single girl on his phone, on his Snap, got blocked, deleted, whatever. That's insane. So why do you feel like you need to be open about this story? Like, and
I don't want people feeling bad for her. She's doing that like crazy girl thing of like, don't leave, I'm pregnant, and like controlling everything he does. I mean, he sent some of the last things he said to me were like, she's here, like she's not leaving, it's just a terrible situation, like I'm not okay. He's like, she's just a terrible person, just get out here as fast as you can. And I just see people on the internet being like, oh my god, she's ensnared in his trap, like I feel so bad for her, like oh my god, she's a victim. And I'm like, bull fucking shit. She's like that crazy manipulative girlfriend that comes back and is like, psych, I'm pregnant, I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah, and I think people were kind of feeling bad for her right after the breakup, but I think now that she's back, I think people actually kind of lost a lot of respect for her, because everyone was about to be Team Melanie, right? They were about to be like, let's go, Melanie, you know, like. No,
I totally believe that it's not like he made it seem like she attacked him and she didn't. Like, she's first of all, she's a big girl. And he looks so small compared to her because he's only like 5'9", and I feel like she's like 5'7" or something ridiculous like that. She's a big girl, and I feel like when he was showing me like around, like just how messed up it all was, like I've been that girl. I've been that girl that's like a super disrespectful boyfriend that had a mouth on him, and then like I'm throwing the fucking ashtray at him, or I'm throwing his Air Force Ones out the window. Like I've been that crazy girlfriend when I was younger, in my early 20s. Like it totally looked like a crazy girlfriend situation. Like his shit was everywhere, like all over her little vanity room and all over the backyard, the pool. Like it was a mess. It totally looked like, like there was a struggle, and it wasn't like him. I mean, maybe it was him, but it was definitely her. It's not like she did nothing and he did this to her, and then the cops picked her up because they favor him in Lancaster.
No, I agree with that too. I've said in another video that I feel like Melanie definitely seems the type that where she would go ham too. You know what I mean?
She totally went ham. That place was tore the up.
With some of these screenshots you sent me, like you don't mind if I put these in the video, right? That's why you send them to me, these screenshots?
No, I don't care.
Okay.
I really don't care, because this is how I feel. If you don't have enough respect for yourself to like have a connection with someone and tell them to like fuck off, and you met somebody that's like kinder, better, funnier, more petite, more talented, more intelligent, and you're gonna go back to like a toxic situation, bro, like fuck
So are you saying you're hotter than Miss Melanie Martin? Are you saying you're hotter than Miss Melanie Martin?
I wouldn't say that I'm hotter. I'm just like more feminine and like cute and like spicy.
Shit.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh shit.
Like, she's just kind of like your basic, like early 30s, like millennial white girl. Like, she's a big girl.
I'm sorry. Okay? I'm sorry.
And what I can't stand about her is that she is such a classist, racist bitch, dude. Like, she really is. She's like, you're from some weird state, like Iowa or something. And I'm like, first of all, I'm from. She's like, oh yeah, so you're ghetto. And I'm like, you are such a stupid racist. Like, I hate you. We went back and forth for like 2 hours today.
Today?
Fucking funny texts. Hell yeah.
Why is she still messaging? If they're back together, why is she still messaging?
I texted him because I was like, I want to know what the hell is going on. So I text him and I'm like, hey, isn't it funny that 2 weeks ago we were planning that I was going to come out and this shit happened? And I sent him like a gif of like young Dolph saying, don't play with me, play with your bitch. And she was like, LOL, what? And I was like, what? I'm like, oh, my bad. I texted this by accident. I mean, isn't it crazy that all this shit that happened? And she's like, oh, well, he's too busy. Like, I texted his cell phone number because he's got two. He has his iCloud and then his, like, regular iPhone and, like, an Android or whatever. And I texted it and I was like, yeah, whatever. And she texts back because I knew it was her. And she said, he's too busy. And she sent, like, a little peach emoji. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then she just like goes ham. She's like, you're a stripper, you're a side piece, you guys after work. And I'm like, shit, I wish I did. I was like, isn't that what you do though? I'm like, are you projecting here? Like, what's going on? So we pretty much just like went back and forth. She's like, you're a stripper and a loser and you're broke. And I'm like, okay, and you're a prostitute that was pimped by this guy that's like in my DMs telling me that like Aaron's it or whatever, and I should say okay. Like,
crap.
Erin told me that she was an escort that was like pimped out by this dude in LA, and that's what she was doing before they started dating. And I'm like, so it came down to like the basic girl like industry argument, which is like, you're a stripper, and I'm like, okay, cool, you're a hooker. Like, you're really, really gonna get at me? She's like, you're grinding. And I'm like, okay, and you're getting pimped. Like, how did that feel to, like, get your power taken by a man? Like, how did that feel? Shitty. It's just not very smart.
Why is she even baiting this? In my opinion, if I was Melanie, why would I even bait that? I would just, like is she that invested and jealous that she's willing to text you through a phone? Like with
100%. Aaron's such a very... like, because after she was there, this is maybe like the first week of April, he and I were talking on FaceTime, and he's like, she's very intimidated and very threatened by you because you're independent, because like you're a hustler, because like you don't really care that people know that like you're a dancer. And like, you know, like I live a pretty squeaky clean life. Like I'm low key, like a square. I'm like a very good girl. And like that's not her vibe. So I think like she's just kind of intimidated. So she just kept saying the same shit over and over again. Like, I'm the side piece. Like, I wish I was the side piece. Go talk to Justin Bieber. He has a girlfriend too. I must be into that. Like, all types of stupid shit.
Wow. And like with these pregnancy pictures, I could be mistaken. I don't want to say this for sure because I know someone in the comments will slam me. But this is a really high quality picture of the pregnancy test. The one that I saw, any I've seen, have been very poor quality. Like, is this... Did she only send it to you?
Yeah, she only sent it to me on Instagram. And if you look, you can see her camera roll on the bottom.
Like, yeah, because I've never seen this picture before. This is like... I
mean, I think I'm probably the only one who has it.
Wow.
It's from her phone. I mean, the only reason I came out and I was like, yo, we gotta talk is just because, like, listen, she is a crazy bitch. But he also grew up in the public spotlight, was never allowed to make a mistake. His entire life has been on camera. He's not like this monster that like people like make him out to be. He's just like a normal young dude who grew up in Hollywood that has PTSD. That's it. You know what I'm saying? And like any normal person would just like stop triggering someone like that. People just like love a reaction. Mm-hmm. And I mean, yeah, he's extreme. But again, that goes in with like the whole PTSD, growing up in the spotlight, never allowed to make mistakes, always under a microscope, always getting criticized, always in the tabloids. You know what I'm saying? She's just like some random ass hooker from OC. Like, it just is what it is. She's like, fuck you with your 3,000 followers. And I'm like, bro, I am a normal person. Like, I don't give a fuck about this.
Right, she insulted some other people too, some other girls by doing their follower account. Like, oh, you only have this amount of followers, and like that's a pretty petty insult from Melanie. Like, are you really gonna judge someone just based on their follower account?
100%. And I was like, babe, I literally have been associated romantically with rappers who have millions of followers. Like, if you really think that I care, or like think that Aaron is so cool, and I just like need to be about this clout, like, go look at my real Instagram and who follows me. And she was like, oh, so you're a groupie. And I'm like, no. I'm a performance artist, you crazy bitch. Like, this is my life. Like, I'm fucking an active gymnast, stripper, real person that knows how to read a book and like has proper grammar. And like, you write you are. Like, come on. Like... Well, he tagged me in his picture on his Instagram that said single, and he tagged me in it.
Oh, is that when he had a bunch of stories that day? He had like a bunch of stories.
I don't know, but it's just like a black and white photo, and he tagged me in it. And part of my Instagram says Fox, and then within 12 hours or something, I had like a gazillion people like following me, and then like maybe like a dozen death threats. And I was just like, wow, if this is even like 1/100th of what this guy's life is like I feel bad for him. I mean, I had people being like, you look like a man, like your nails, only a man would get their nails done like that. Like, you're ugly, your teeth are crooked, like, go kill yourself. I hope you get coronavirus. I mean,
I don't know, because Melanie has gotten so like, well, for one, Melanie's name is probably going to be permanently ruined by this because there has been so many videos, well, I mean, she probably, I don't know if she had a good reputation before this, but like, you know, being associated with, you know, even though people call Aaron washed up or whatever, he has a different type of celebrity fan base. And like, even if someone's more popular than him or more relevant, Aaron has this like very cult like fan base that will follow you around forever, and they'll also run your name through the mud. Like, Melanie has pictures of her, you know, getting, you know, her jail like her bond posted up online, her fights, that, you know what I mean? Like that's there forever. And that's like, I don't know if anyone would want that. Like, who wants all your public fights on live stream?
I can find like any fucking other dude that can play the fucking piano and make me laugh. But the thing is like there definitely was a connection. But yeah, dude, it's like I don't know if it's worth it, like at all. Like it's crazy. It's almost like people are like obsessed with like the notoriety of it, of just like the whole thing. And it's like their boundaries. I think this is what I think. I think that people on the internet are weird and creepy. And then when you're following a celebrity that has like, I mean, quote unquote celebrity, that has like really bad boundary issues, and like he is the normal one, think of how bad the boundary issues are of like the people that are like super obsessed with this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, she texted me and she's like, I moved into his house after 2 weeks. You ever move in with somebody after 2 weeks? Like, that's how good I am. And I was like, no. I would say that's codependent and fucking creepy. Like, no, I have not. And she was like bragging about it. And I was just like, wow. That really kind of just like puts like the psychological like stability in perspective of maybe like the both of them, but mostly like her. I mean, I understand that somebody like him would like want to do something super impulsive like that, and it's like up to like a normal person to be like, hey Aaron, like that's not what you do, like that's actually dependent, like that's not normal and that's not socially acceptable and that's not healthy. But she was like bragging about it.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, no, I mean, for me it's more like a joke between my friends and I at this point, and we're just kind of like, we think it's entertaining, so I just kind of kept going with it.
Right, you're just kind of trying to piss off Melanie for the memes now.
I mean, 100%, that's pretty much it. Like, it was cool. We talked for like 7 to 10 days. She came back in, she got pissed, and now it's just funny that she's pissed and I keep pissing her off just because it's hilarious. Because I get to go home every day to my normal ass life and have my normal ass friends, and this is gonna follow her forever.
Well, also she got his name tattooed.
It's like he has bad anxiety and like takes hella Xanax. I wonder, like,
did he do any drugs while you guys were talking?
He doesn't. He's not like this crazy drug addict like people think he is. He just like takes hella Xanax because he's like a hella anxious dude. He's like really high strung. I mean, like he'll take a dab, he'll smoke weed, he'll eat some edibles, he'll take like, you know, a couple milligrams of Xanax, but it's not like people think he's just like ripping lines and like smoking meth. Like he's way too anxious of a person to be doing shit like that.
Yeah, I don't think he's quite that crazy either. Like, I don't think he's like on bingers and stuff like that. But I think
hell no. But I mean, like when he seems real out of it, like when no,
like
dude,
people say,
he's like the LA chill, weed and Xanax. Like he barely even really drinks.
Right.
But definitely, like when he's on the internet and he's like, "Oh, I'm just tired." You're like, "Okay, bro."
No, we definitely heard he's done Xanax before. Like that's what.
Before I give my opinion, what do you think about Kurt Benz? Do you not know much about him?
About him is that somebody tagged him in one of my photos. Then he starts commenting on a bunch of my photos, and like, you know, like when you do that passive aggressive, like a bunch of people's photos on social media to kind of like, I don't know if it's like an asserting dominance,
get their
thing.
attention.
I mean, girls do that to other girls all the time just to be a bitch. It was kind of like that. And I call Aaron and I'm like, who is this Kurt Benz guy? And he's like, oh, that's Melanie's ex-boyfriend. He basically like pimped her out in LA. Like she lived in OC. She would go to the city and then like he would pimp her out, even though he like her boyfriend. He was the boyfriend of like a ton of different. And he's just like aggressive and like overly alpha and just like obnoxious. Just like block him. And I get this message from him that was like, hi, or something like that. And I just like blocked him right away. And then I get a message from a secondary Kurt Benz account that's like, hey, I saw you peeped on my Instagram account just to block it. Well, you feel free to block this one too. You saw what he did to Melanie, and it's not a matter of if for you, it's a matter of when. And just so you know, he's a fucking meth head and a pussy boy faggot. If you want to fuck around with a pussy boy faggot Aaron Carter, be my guest.
This is what Kurt Ben said?
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Yeah. And then I was like, okay, and I blocked him. And then, like, by the time I tried to block him, he had already blocked me just to talk shit and, like, block me, I guess. And then that's, like, all I really know about him. And then Erin said that he bailed her out of jail. But then today, when I was arguing with her, she said that she bailed herself out of jail. Which, you can't bail yourself out of jail. Like, I've been in jail. That's not how it works.
Right. So what I know about Kurt Benz is he was a MySpace emo kid. I guess he was kind of popular. So like in the late 2000s, he was like, you know, like emo, long hair, teased, the whole nine. And I guess a bunch of emo girls wanted him. And I don't know exactly what point he turned into emo Kurt into the new Kurt Benz, you know, like I don't know what he's trying to be, Kurt Benz. And he got like mixed up with Melanie for the escorting
He's like
reasons.
Persian dollar shave company guy.
Yeah, he kind of does have like a Persian, like, you know, he's got the beard, like Middle Eastern.
What's that guy's name? Bitches around him and shit.
Dan Bazarian.
Yeah,
Yes,
Dan.
Like
yeah, he's trying to be Dan Bilzerian for sure.
100%. He's got nice legs though.
He's like, yeah, he's not like a unattractive dude, but like
he's not an unattractive.
It just seems like his personality. It seems like he's up in, like he was up in our DMs trying to get videos taken down. He's up in like when the Melanie stuff happened, he was up in everyone's DMs, kind of making a fool out of himself. To be honest, like I guess he was on the cuff because out of nowhere, kind of like you, he had a bunch of Aaron community just start slamming his profile and being like, "Yo, what's up with this? Like, is Melanie pregnant? Et cetera, et cetera." And yeah, so that's kind of his story. I don't know exactly how he got mixed up with Melanie back in the day, but I'm assuming it was for the same reasons that, you know, she's mixed up with Aaron, escorting, otherwise. But yeah, that's
apparently she told him that she was pregnant before she told anybody else.
Yeah, and that's where that like really blurry screenshot of this, like I don't know, someone said it was an ovulation stick or something, but I was like, I can't really see it, and everyone was saying that she was pregnant or something. But like that picture you sent me, that's kind of blowing my mind because I've never seen that picture.
I mean, I just got that picture from her secondary account, which is like a modeling account, but it's really just like low key. It says it's her beauty account, but it's like her escort account.
It's like her account so she doesn't get banned on her main account, kind of account.
Basically. And like if you look at the comments, it's hilarious. Like my friends would send me, they're like, dude, this is like seriously an escort account. Like look at all these old men that are like, that's my baby. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think she's actually pregnant? And if she is, do you think it's actually Aaron's?
60-40. My friends and I definitely are like, okay, like how should we actually have like a pool going that like the baby comes out like Persian as fuck with like a beard and it's like a Kurt Benz baby? Like, I don't know. I mean, Aaron thinks that if she is pregnant, that like 100% it's his. He's like, dude, I was trying to get this pregnant, like, you know, like I think like because he's estranged from his family, like he wants to create his own family, which is like super whack. But I totally get the psychology behind that. And he was like, yeah, he's like, she could definitely be pregnant. And then like when he kept saying that like everything is fucked up and like he's not okay, that was like when I got the text from her saying like, we're having a baby, like you're pathetic, whatever.
Do I call you Zora?
Sure.
All right, Zora. Appreciate you coming on and giving us a hot